All right. In this video, we're going to go over the bow, how to hold it, and how to use it. So, first, a couple of basics. We've got the stick, the tip, the hair underneath, don't touch it, the frog, the clip, that's where the hair actually goes into the bow. We've got the eye of the frog right there. We've got the end screw, and then we've got the winding, and if you look underneath here, we've also got the grip. Some bows just have a grip, they don't have a winding. Either way, they basically all the parts work the same. So, if you first get your bow and it looks like this with a nice loose hair, first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tighten the hair. If you go to the end screw down here and you go righty-tighty, what that does is it actually draws the frog down, so that tightens the hair and tightens the stick as well. We generally don't want to over tighten it. If it starts to bow outwards, kind of like a hunting bow, that's way too much. We want to have a little bit of an inward bend in the stick. I'll show it to you just like this. You can tell it kind of bends inward just a little bit, but there's enough space there between the stick and the hair so that when you play it, the stick is away from the hair, so it makes a nice, bright, easy sound. Now, at night, the whole reason why you want to untighten the hair, and I would definitely do that after you're done practicing, remember to go lefty-loosey, is just so that eventually, if you leave the bow tightened like that, the stick can warp, especially in the whenever the weather starts changing and stuff like that, humidity and all that. So you definitely want to make sure to loosen it before you put it away. That's quite loose. You don't necessarily need to loosen it that much, although the more you loosen it, the less likely it is for your stick eventually to warp. Usually when they warp, they go one way or another, and it leads to not having a very nice sound. So the more you take care of your bow, the better it will sound, of course. Now, go ahead and tighten it back up here, and let's talk about how to hold the bow. First things first, you got to know your right from your left. Go ahead and take your left hand and hold the stick in the middle just like this with the frog facing your right hand. And go ahead and take your hand just like this. Make sure that all the fingers are nice and bent. We like to call this in the Suzuki world the bow hold bunny because it's got floppy ears and a nice round mouth. We never want the fox because fingers that our joints aren't bent are just a little bit harder to use, especially for all the things we've got to do when we're playing the violin. So always make sure all of the joints are nice and bent. All of the knuckles are nice and bent, just like that. All right, after we've figured out where these two middle fingers are here, we're going to take those and we're going to put them right on the bow over that bow eye. You're going to wiggle your pinky. You want to make sure to tap the pinky right on top of the bow as well. Eventually, once we have our whole bow hold together, that pinky holds up the weight, so we sometimes need to kind of push down a little bit on the pinky to make sure that it's nice and balanced, just like so. So, we'll do that again. Two fingers right here on the frog, pinky sits upon the log. First finger, we just for now want to just kind of leave it kind of sit like that right on the grip, nice and lazy. If you look at my finger, I have a little bit of a permanent indent between this knuckle right here and this knuckle. That's about where we want to lay it because eventually we will use that to push and get a little bit more sound. For now, just kind of lay it there. We don't want too much of a push at the beginning here. And then once we have two fingers on the front, pinky sits upon the log, first finger on the grip. At the beginning, thumb goes bump on the silver clip underneath, just like so. So, once we've got this bow hold, first of all, we'll want to practice that a few times, which I'll do at the very end of this video. But once the bow hold looks about like this, you actually want to take that bow, move it up like that, and kind of angle all of the fingers toward the tip of the bow, like that, since that's how normally we play. These fingers will be a little curved from here, going inward, just like that. Remember, when I'm talking about the tip of the fingers, I'm talking about like the very tip of the fingers, almost in between the finger and the fingernail itself. We want to be on the very, very tip of the pinky, and we want to be on the very, very tip of the thumb underneath. All right, that looks good. Now, whenever we start to do our inside bow hold, we will take that thumb. We never want to put it in here. That is what I like to call the thumb trap. That will make it so that that thumb is straight and that takes the rest of the fingers away from the bow. So we want to make sure we get it actually about half on this part of the frog up here and about half on the stick or the grip. Some grips go all the way to the frog. That's okay. You can put the thumb right on the grip, just like that. And same with the fingers. Pinky there, rest the first finger, and then that's what we call an inside grip, just like that. Let's do a couple. Let's go ahead and let's make one more bow hold. For those of you watching, you can actually just maybe write down this time and go straight to this, because this will be a little bit of an exercise routine that you can do every day to improve your bow hold, and so that way we can start playing. All right, here we go. 2 fingers on the frog, pinky sits upon the log, first finger on the grip, thumb goes bump on the silver clip, then you want to take the bow, turn it that way, so that you've got a nice bow hold with all the fingers moving toward the tip. All right, and then whenever you're ready, go ahead and hold it out with a nice straight arm like that. Tilt it upside down. This is a good time to check and make sure that your thumb is nice and bent. What I've noticed is that the very first thing to go usually will be that thumb. So always make sure to check underneath and make sure it's bent. It's also a good place to tap the pinky and make sure that you've got it right on the tip. And go ahead and turn it back around. Oh, straight arm. Just like that. Very nice. Let's do what I like to call pinky jumping jacks. Pick up the pinky, bend, tap, 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 right on the tip. Up, bend, tap, tap, tap. Up, bend, tap, tap, tap. Then let go of everything but the thumb. Straighten the thumb. I call these thumb curls. And bend the thumb. You want to make sure that your thumb has a good purchase or is really touching that clip underneath, and that you can actually manipulate the bow with that, even just the thumb itself. Straighten and bend all the way to the tip. Go ahead and replace your bow hold just like so. Go ahead and put that first finger on there just like that, and well, that's pretty much it. So let's go over that one more time. 2 fingers on the frog, pinky sits upon the log, first finger on the grip, thumb goes bump on the silver clip. Make sure to lean the whole hand toward the tip of the bow, just like that. Hold it out straight, tilt it upside down, make sure that thumb is nice and bent, make sure that we've got the pinky right on the tip, back around, just like that. Hold it in the middle, pinky jumping jacks, up, bend, tap, 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 up, bend, tap, tap, tap. Let go of everything but the thumb, straighten, and bend, straighten, and bend. I would do this as much as you can, basically, especially in that first week, or if you're just kind of revisiting your bow hold. Another excellent thing to kind of notice is that I really make sure to bring the bow into the hand, but I still have quite a bit of space here, right? We don't want too high of a hand like this, because then we have to kind of come from the top and it's a little bit awkward. So do make sure when you're doing your bow holds, if you want to do them in a mirror or even in a, you can take a video on your phone, you want to make sure that you can see your palm behind the frog, just like that. All right, that's it. Do let me know if you have any questions, and good luck with your practice.